I believe you have a past experience with Yeronga State High School. Can you tell us about your involvement?
During my boys' time at the school, I was also actively involved in the PNC, both as a member and then as a president for a number of years. Through those sorts of experiences, I spent a lot of time in the school, in different parts of the school. I was responsible, for instance, for the uniform shop and the canteen, and I had to attend awards nights. I spent a fair bit of time working with the teachers, talking to people in the community. I was here on weekends with parents on various kinds of projects. So, yeah, I had quite a lot of experience over that time.
My role at Yeronga State High School has two parts. As a community liaison officer, I have a community role or a community hat, and at the same time I'm an employee of the Department of Education, so I have another role for the school. At the school here, what I do is to support the social inclusion within the school for a better understanding, so that teachers and the staff at the school here can give more support to the needs or address the needs of the students from the refugee background.
I've certainly started teaching English as a second language at Yeronga over 20 years ago, and I saw lots of changes, and I saw the school becoming much more diverse. I then had a period in Education Queensland Central Office before coming back here as the head of the ESL unit.
When all those students from Africa and Afghanistan, how was the atmosphere in the school?
It changed in lots of ways. It changed for everyone. It wasn't just about the students who were newly coming here. Many of them were traumatized, and trauma shows itself by acting out fear, having headaches, crying, anger. So there was that set of circumstances that was new in the school for a large number of young people. But then, of course, in any community, when there's a big change, the people who've already been in the community feel the change a lot themselves. And some of them are very flexible and respond quickly and positively to that. But other people feel fear and anger because they don't want to change their ways. And so it was a question of working with the whole school community, with the teachers, the office staff, the old students, the new students, to try and make those changes effective.
When my children left high school, primary school, I had a choice about where I would send them. I could send them to the local school here at Yeronga, or another local high school, because there are a number that are easily accessible. Or I could have sent them to one of the private schools, which are quite easily accessed as well. So for me as a parent, I was challenged about the decision, where should I send my children? I resolved that by sending them to the local public school here at Yeronga State High. And there are a number of reasons for that. One is that I believe in the values of public education. And at a time when public education is challenged by, for instance, lack of government funding, there's an increased number of families deciding to send their children to private schools. Many of my boys' friends went to private schools. So as a parent, that creates some challenges. You wonder whether you're doing the right things by your children.
How does and what goes in the community different to what goes in the school?
If I'm talking from my own experience, especially I'm coming from that background, I say from Africa. Of course, learning in Africa, it is different, and the school is different in Africa than here, because the responsibility fall on teachers and the school administrative. So when the child goes home, it is fully under the responsibility of the parents, and they will do whatever they want. But here, of course, it is different. it is a combined or a shared responsibility, which people in the African community don't understand that much. So, and that is where I actually come in, to make them understand the responsibility here in Australia. So, for instance, for the discipline situation in Africa, we know if a student done something wrong, we know how to deal with the student. We will hit them up very hardly so that they can understand and learn from that mistake that they've done. But of course here in Australia it is different, and that is why a lot of parents are finding it very, very difficult to cope up with the system that we have in this country.
So, in your experience as a host, did you experience any students like racism and bullying when they first came here?
It would be untrue to say not, because we live in a real world which is not a perfect world. But I think it's probably true to say that over a period of about 5 years, I can remember individual incidences that were significant in terms of racism or bullying. And I think that's a testament to how much the Yeronga community has evolved around Harmony, how much we've taken lots of steps to see that people don't believe what happens here is as a result of racism. And if students feel they've not been treated fairly by the school, the teachers, the administration, or by other students, that's talked through with them so as they understand what's actually been going on. And I think that we've done that very well here.
Now, today, I can see the school is really getting more closer and closer to each other. Students are more cooperative. You can see them really working together. You can see students at the moment not really like what I've seen in some schools, where you can see tension between students because of their background. But now at Yeronga State High School, I don't see that. And that is what really you can call the harmony within at Yeronga State High School. And it didn't come from nowhere. It came because the school really worked for it. Teachers, they're actually working towards that, is to give the opportunity for those who are coming, the unfortunate students who are coming from a refugee background with the little education, to give them that opportunity to have a better future if we got a harmony here. Because if we have that, that means that no one can come up and say, look, I don't like school. They will love it. And that is why now you can see a lot of students coming from different schools to Yeronga State High School, because of the harmonious environment that we have in this school.
I think harmony is simply living in accord. It means, I mean, we all talk about tolerance and respect, but it's really getting to the heart of what those look like and sound like. Smiling at people, celebrating with people, supporting others. We're educators, but it's not just supporting their education in terms of language development and having a good education. It's education in the wider sense of the word. So it's showing respect and understanding at deeper levels. It's supporting students to get through the crises that they often have. And that's for Australian-born students as well as for the English as a second language population.